You want to beat the house. You want to turn predicting Sunday's outcomes into a reliable replacement for your Monday to Friday grind. It is a highly appealing equation. Pick winners, achieve financial freedom, and walk away from the traditional workforce entirely. But the house keeps winning because of a structural flaw in your execution. You are operating as what we call the controller. You are a human being making decisions driven by ego and the thrill of the play. Human biology is actively working against your bankroll. This diagram shows the classic gambler's fallacy. You lose 5 bets in a row, so your brain tells you that you are mathematically due for a win on the 6th. That feeling of being due is just a chemical reaction in your brain seeking a dopamine hit. In reality, each play is a completely independent event. The math does not care what happened yesterday. Following that chemical urge causes you to increase your bet size to chase the losses. You abandon your unit sizing, throw logic out the window, and watch your entire account balance evaporate in a single afternoon. To actually extract profit, you have to kill the controller. You have to stop gambling and step into the role of the architect. The architect treats betting as a cold, calculated structural engineering problem. True financial freedom in this space requires building a system that operates entirely outside of human emotion. You have to remove yourself and your biology from the execution process completely. The first rule of the architect's framework is strict. Never use your own money. Using personal capital guarantees emotional attachment, which guarantees panic during a losing streak. This dashboard shows our solution. By passing an evaluation through wager funding, you secure $50,000 of institutional capital to trade with. This is your baseline power source. The rules of this funding require you to stay within a strict 10% maximum drawdown. That gives you a hard stop of $5,000. Because you are operating with house money within a defined limit, the psychological terror of losing your rent money disappears. Here is a safety buffer gauge showing exactly what it takes to hit that limit. Because we strictly risk 1% or $500 per play, you would have to lose 10 consecutive bets to blow the account. When you cap your activity at a maximum of 2 plays per 24 hours, the probability of hitting 10 straight losses on our targeted odds is mathematically less than 1 in a million. The institutional funding provides the $50,000 bankroll, but its primary function is psychological armor. It acts as a structural shield, insulating the math from the panic that usually destroys sports bettors. With the capital secured, we install the logic board. We ignore high payout parlays and lottery tickets. Instead, we target highly probable outcomes, specifically operating in the -300 to -350 odds range. We gladly pay a premium for a 75 to 77% implied probability of winning. This diagram shows our 10-win cycle. We structure our extraction in cycles, not days. Every play is a fixed $500 unit, exactly 1% of the total bankroll. At -300 odds, each winning slot on this wheel generates a precise profit of $166.67. No system wins 100% of the time. We apply a reality filter based on an 80% win rate. To get your 10 wins, statistically, you will take 12.5 bets. The wheel adds 2.5 losses at $500 each, but the math easily absorbs the hit, leaving a net profit of $416.70 per cycle. Sticking strictly to 2 plays a day, one cycle takes about 6 days to complete. When this wheel expands across a typical month, you complete roughly 4.5 cycles. That yields a highly predictable net extraction of $1,875. There is no sweating out the final seconds of a game here. There are no massive payouts to brag about to your friends. The process is incredibly boring, and it is designed to be exactly that. By accepting small, consistent margins and strict unit sizing, you stop playing a game of chance. You establish a mechanical assembly line that quietly prints revenue. Even with house money and a tight mathematical model, one critical vulnerability remains: human boredom. When the assembly line hits a small losing streak, impatience will tempt you to manually force a play. To prevent self-sabotage, we install an AI governor. We hand the actual play calling over to artificial intelligence, completely revoking the human operator's ability to choose the bets. We use Google's Vertex AI and Gemini models to process the data. These systems instantly scan historical volatility and monitor real-time line movements across multiple sportsbooks at speeds a human simply cannot match. This chart shows our mathematical edge. The AI ignores the implied probability of 75%. It only flags a play when it calculates a true probability of 85% or higher. That bright green gap is our buffer, a 10% advantage over the sportsbook's math. You are no longer watching sports hoping your team pulls through. You are managing a highly calibrated software program that identifies inefficiencies in the market and automatically exploits them. The real value of the Architect framework goes beyond the monthly profit. It is the absolute peace of mind knowing you have built a boring, emotionless machine that does exactly what it was engineered to do.